When people are applying for jobs at ESD, do you also go through OGS?
No.
So when they're applying, it goes directly through your office?
Yes.
And people that are applying, do they get responses back? The only reason why I'm asking is because I have 2 constituents that have applied, and they haven't heard anything. And I see a lot of job postings for ESD, but I don't know when the jobs are being fulfilled.
So thank you for that. I think, I'll be in touch with your office to
Okay.
make sure that we can get back to those individuals.
Okay. And then for our ED, I just have a question. I see here you said 62% of adult use license approved were social and economic equity owned. But if you don't know how many licenses there are, how do we know it's 62% of it?
So the 62% was licenses approved at our last board meeting in February. We do know how many licenses there are in terms of what's been approved in the past and what's been approved since I came on, but I could share those numbers with you.
Can you tell me what those are?
I can't tell you the whole breadth, but what I can tell you is in the last several months, and I actually misspoke earlier, it's not 200 licenses, it's actually over 800 licenses.
About 800. Okay. So then we'll chat about what the actual number is.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the mayor of New York City was here, I asked him why his sheriff office wasn't getting back to OCM about reporting when they are shutting down legal stores and what's being seized as far as cash and product is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Have they been corresponding with your office?
So I appreciate that question that you asked back then because very shortly after we got the information from New York City.
Okay. And then at some point, will we get a report about what's happening in New York City?
Yes, we can share. We can put that together and share in a way that'll work. That'll be elucidative.
Thank you. And then why haven't we increased funding for the Social Equity Fund or the Community Grants Investment Fund, rather?
So the Community Grants Investment Fund is appropriated up to $10 million, and so I know that this particular proposal includes a proposal for $5 million. One of the things that I am sensitive to, particularly as an operations person, is that we have to sort of prove before we expand too rapidly. So right now we're in the process of reviewing the grants that came in for this cycle year, and we're hoping to award those in the next, I think, by the end of March, if not early April. But I want to make sure that we have our processes and our practices in place if we're looking to work with more money in the future.
Commissioner, I'm going to stay focused on this building that we happen to be in. And I know that we usually have heating and cooling issues in this building. I was told it's because of how we divide up some of the rooms, in our offices and things like that. So I'm just wondering if any of this money that we're using to, upgrade our systems, is any of that going to be used towards our heating, cooling, the changing of the thermostats?
Thank you for that question, Assemblymember Jackson. When it comes to the Legislative Office Building in particular, we work in very close partnership with the legislature, both with the Senate on the Assembly side, to prioritize projects. As we get to the third phase of activities for the decarbonization, all aspects of building systems will be touched, which includes, the heating and cooling. Certainly, as we transition from steam to hot water or other types of heating and cooling opportunities, it will change how the building is laid out and will also necessitate changes to the infrastructure as well.
So you said in phase 3. What phase are we in?
We are in the first phase.
We're in the first phase. Thank you for that. And then as far as your electric vehicles, are all the vehicles electric at this point?
No, they are not all electric.
So what percentage would you say we're at?
So if you take a look at our website, we've actually made public our EV transition plans for light-duty fleets. As of the last reporting period, I believe the baseline was 6%. I'm going to double check my notes.
So you can get back to me on that one because I want to ask something else.
Sure, 6.3%.
6.3%, got it. As far as the diversion efforts for, I guess, dealing with waste, you have here that pre-consumer food waste collection. Is that composting?
Yes, that is.
Okay.
So that is looking at particularly the food vendors that are out on, that are in the plaza. They're all small Albany businesses located in the area. It'll allow for them to identify food scraps and pre-consumer waste as opposed to post-consumer, which is whatever might be generated after you eat your meal.
Okay. And then if someone has a contract with OGS, when do we cycle out and get a new person to, have that contract? I'm thinking about like the vending machines. Do we have the same contractor? I might be getting in trouble saying this. But is it the same contractor since, the beginning of time? Is there a new process? How does that work?
Most of our contracts have an expiration period for our centralized contracts. It's about 5 years. Agencies or entities may choose to extend that contract. All decisions, particularly with regard to this building, we work in very close consultation with central staff. It is something where it is a very joint partnership to make sure that we're balancing the needs of the legislature as well as our priorities.
Thank you. And then the P3 automated doors, we need help with that. I have a stroller. I don't like pushing the door open. It's really hard. So thank you.